Okay, so I just got done watching the newest Netflix film, Happy Gilmore 2, and this is going to be my quick spoiler-free reaction to the film. This is a near-perfect sequel, the reintroduction to Happy Gilmore's character and seeing him struggle as an older man, but also as a single parent, also as an alcoholic. He's also lost his wife now, so his character is depressed and in denial. I thought the first 30 to 40 minutes of this movie was absolutely perfection. I thought it did a great job at getting us up to date with what is happening in Happy Gilmore's world and seeing why he's doing what he's doing. And really, at this film's core, this is a father family story. It's about a father who's willing to do whatever to improve his children's future. But it's also about a guy who has lost the spark for golfing, who wants to relit that spark in a today's generation, in a Gen Z environment where AI exists, where there's all this new technology that wasn't around when he was golfing in the original movie. So he's also struggling with the up-to-date technology and sports events that are happening surrounding that. And I thought the way they wrote his character was great. I thought the pacing of the first act was terrific. I thought the first act, packed quite a punch in it, and I thought it worked really well. All the performances here, both big and small, was terrific. Everyone in this movie is great. There's a lot of familiar faces from previous Adam Sandler movies that return in this movie, and it was a joy to see it. This is a Friends reunion with Adam Sandler. And I thought the chemistry between Happy Gilmore and his daughters and sons was great. Yeah, I thought they had a really funny introduction, and I thought they made a great addition to the new cast of this movie. However, as much as this is a great sequel, what holds it back from me saying that this is a perfect sequel is the second act does have some writing problems. There's a point in the second act where it does come to a halt. Like the story, I was losing a little bit of interest in. I didn't think it had that punch that the first act did. And I thought some of the story development wasn't strong. Like I thought they could have hit a bit harder with Happy Gilmore losing his wife, because while that's mentioned and you see him struggle with that all throughout the movie, it's something that's not really developed upon. Like it's mentioned, it's mentioned here and there, but it's not really something that they actually really lean on too much. And I think since so much of this story is about that, I think that they just could have added just an inch more. I didn't want a whole lot, but I just wanted maybe just an inch more of that story to really make me care. But I cared about it nevertheless. I thought what they gave us with that, I thought was good enough, but just it could have been better. Some of the character introductions and character introductions, I thought some of it was rushed and forced. I thought what they did with Shooter McGavin in here, I thought was really cool. His arc is more of like a horror, I guess, arc. To a degree, his arc honestly doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Just with some dialogue that his character brings up earlier in the movie, which I won't get into, but there's a motive that's explained and introduced during his reintroduction into the film, and then that just kind of doesn't really go anywhere. And then he gets out of this place, he meets Happy Gilmore, and they basically just reignite. And just, it feels like they're just kind of ignoring, the thing that they just set up. So, I can see what they were doing, but I don't know. I found it, I found it a bit odd, I think. There's only a handful of scenes in here that I think are just utterly pointless. There's a scene when Shooter McGavin first meets Happy Gilmore, and it cuts to the scene of, of a grave talking, basically. And it feels so out of left field, man. Like, I don't know why it was there. Like, it's like a 10-second shot, but it pulled back the pacing. Like, that scene was actually pretty impactful. And then there's just this weird, out of place scene that I don't know. I didn't see the significance, and I haven't seen the first movie in a while. It might be tied back. Let me know down in the comments. But, I think, really putting all that aside, is this a funny movie? After all, this is marketed as a comedy. How are the jokes? How's the humor in this? This is a really, really funny movie. And, if you've watched my channel for a while, I just don't like a lot of today's comedy. That's something I complain about with Marvel movies, and I just complain with movies in general nowadays. It's just comedy has got really lazy. And let me tell you, comedy is back, baby. Whenever you have Adam Sandler, this guy just puts a smile on your face, man. Like, this guy is just funny no matter what. Like, it was just joke after joke after joke, and it landed so well. I was barely laughing more than once in this movie, in a few scenes in particular, and just, there's not many jokes in this movie that do fall flat. It's just, a lot of them just have this amazing energy to them, and amazing setup to it, and and it just works. Like, Adam Sandler is a comedy god. Like, this guy's brought us so many classics over the years, and I think he's going to bring us so many more. This is classic Adam Sandler at his best. This movie just put a smile on my face. Like, I can't tell you how much fun I had watching this movie. This is an incredibly not only entertaining movie, but it's a heartfelt movie, and it hits all of the beats that's required, and it has an ending that I think will leave some people conflicted with the end result of the last 15 minutes of this movie. That's just, the ending is an example of what I was saying before about terrible writing. But yeah, no, I had a great time with this movie, seeing Happy Gilmore, just pick up the golf stick again, and just, and really just go at it. And, and even at his weakest times, even when he was failing, he was still pushing himself and motivating himself. And like, that's, it's such a great movie, a great message. This movie is near perfect, man. Like, it's one of the most entertaining movies I've seen. I loved every bit of my time watching this movie. It's streaming on Netflix now. Go check it out for yourself. Happy Gilmore 2, guys.